Welcome back to another soul-stirring episode of Journey to Success. I'm Emily Carter, your host, and today we're embarking on a deeply meaningful exploration, discovering your passion and purpose. Our guest is someone who's guided countless people to find what lights them up, Dr. Sophia Reynolds, a life coach, best-selling author, and inspirational speaker whose work has transformed lives around the globe. Sophia, it's an absolute honor to have you with us today.
Thank you, Emily. I'm truly delighted to be here and dive into a topic that's not just about finding a career, but about crafting a life of joy and impact.
I'm so excited to soak up your wisdom. Passion and purpose are words we hear often, but they can feel elusive. Sophia, let's start with the big picture. Why is discovering your passion and purpose so vital for a fulfilling life, and how does it shape our journey?
That's a beautiful question, Emily, and it really captures why this pursuit is so transformative. Passion and purpose are like the compass and fuel of your life. Passion is what ignites your enthusiasm, what makes you lose track of time because you're so absorbed. Purpose is the deeper why, the sense that your actions contribute to something greater than yourself. Together, they give you clarity, resilience, and a reason to leap out of bed each morning, even when life gets tough. I think of someone like Maya Angelou, whose passion for storytelling and purpose to uplift marginalized voices produced masterpieces like I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Angelou once said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Her clarity drove her through poverty and trauma to global impact. Early in my own journey, I was a burned-out HR manager in Atlanta, feeling like I was just going through the motions. I had a steady job but no spark. When I started exploring what truly excited me, helping others find meaning, everything changed. I launched my coaching practice, wrote books, and now wake up thrilled to serve. Discovering your passion and purpose doesn't just enhance your life, it redefines it, aligning your actions with your soul's calling.
That's such a profound way to frame it. Sophia, passion as the spark and purpose as the why. Angelou's story is so inspiring. You mentioned finding your own path from burnout. Can you walk us through how someone can start discovering their passion and purpose, especially if they feel lost or stuck?
Absolutely, Emily. The first step is to explore with curiosity. Many people feel stuck because they expect passion to hit like lightning, but it's often uncovered through experimentation. Start by asking, what activities make me feel alive? Or what would I do if money weren't an issue? Write down anything, hobbies, childhood dreams, even small joys. I draw inspiration from Steve Jobs, who followed his curiosity at Reed College, auditing a calligraphy course that seemed useless. Years later, it shaped Apple's iconic typography. Jobs said, "You have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future." That trust in exploration is key. When I was lost in HR, I felt purposeless but didn't know where to start. I made a list. I loved mentoring colleagues, reading psychology, and public speaking. I experimented volunteering as a mentor, taking a speaking class. Each step clarified my path to coaching. I coached a client named Jessica, a bank teller who felt her life was fine but flat. She had no idea what her passion was. We listed things she enjoyed: baking, helping friends solve problems, nature walks. She started a baking blog, which led to hosting community workshops, sparking a purpose to foster connection. Curiosity uncovers clues. You just have to follow them. Another step is to reflect on your values. Purpose often ties to what matters most: family, creativity, justice. I use a tool from Viktor Frankl, the Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl believed purpose comes from contributing to others. He asked, "What does life demand of you?" I did this exercise, realizing I valued empowering growth. It guided my career shift. I worked with a client named Michael, a lawyer who felt empty despite success. Reflecting, he valued education and equity. He started mentoring at-risk youth, finding purpose that made his work meaningful. Exploration and values are the map to your passion and purpose.
I love that approach. Sophia, curiosity and values as a map. Jobs' calligraphy story and Jessica's baking journey show how small steps lead to big discoveries. But what about when fear or doubt creeps in? Like, what if I pick the wrong passion? How do you move past that?
Oh, Emily, fear and doubt are universal companions on this journey, and they can feel like roadblocks. The key is to reframe fear as part of growth. Fear often signals you're stepping towards something meaningful. It's your brain's way of saying, "This matters." I draw from Brené Brown, whose work on vulnerability teaches that courage starts with embracing discomfort. Brown pursued her passion for storytelling despite fearing judgment, building a global platform. She says, "You can choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both." That mindset helps you act despite doubt. When I left HR to coach, I was terrified I'd fail or choose wrong. I'd lie awake thinking, what if I'm not cut out for this? But I reframed it. If I stumble, I'll learn. I took small risks, like coaching pro bono to test the waters, and each success quieted my doubts. I coached a client named Sarah, a graphic designer who dreamed of starting a studio but feared she wasn't creative enough. We looked at Lin-Manuel Miranda, who doubted Hamilton would work but pushed through, blending passions for history and music into a cultural phenomenon. Sarah started small, freelancing for local businesses, and now runs a thriving agency. Fear fades when you act, proving to yourself you're capable. Another tool is to visualize your future self. Imagine who you'd be if you followed your passion. What would your days look like? I did this, picturing myself speaking to audiences, writing books. Pulled me forward. I taught this to a client named Ethan, a teacher who loved photography but doubted it could be more than a hobby. Visualizing a life of capturing stories. Inspired by Annie Leibovitz's bold career shift from painting to photography, Ethan took evening classes. He's now a sought-after portrait photographer. Fear and doubt shrink when you focus on possibility, not perfection.
That's so empowering, Sophia. Fear as a sign of growth. Brown and Miranda's stories, plus Sarah's leap, make it feel so achievable. You've mentioned incredible figures like Angelou and Jobs. Are there other famous examples whose pursuit of passion and purpose inspires you?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. History is brimming with people who found their calling through passion and purpose. Take Malala Yousafzai, who discovered her purpose as a child advocating for girls' education in Pakistan. Despite a Taliban attack at 15, her passion for learning and justice drove her to become the youngest Nobel Peace Prize winner. Malala said, "I don't want to be remembered as the girl who was shot. I want to be remembered as the girl who stood up." Her clarity inspires me to help clients find what makes them stand up. I leaned on her example when coaching a client named Olivia, a nurse who felt unfulfilled. Olivia's passion for mental health led her to train as a counselor, now serving her community with purpose. Another is Elon Musk, whose passion for innovation and purpose to advance humanity fuels SpaceX and Tesla. Musk faced near bankruptcy and relentless criticism, but his vision kept him going. He said, "When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor." I used Musk's tenacity when I doubted my speaking career, pushing through early flops to reach bigger stages. I coached a client named David, an engineer who loved sustainable design but feared leaving his safe job. Musk's bold leaps inspired David to launch a green tech startup, now thriving. Then there's Oprah Winfrey, who turned her passion for connection into a media empire. Growing up in poverty, Oprah found purpose in amplifying unheard voices, saying, "The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams." Her journey shaped my coaching philosophy. Everyone has a unique spark. These icons show passion and purpose aren't just nice-to-haves. They're the engine of extraordinary lives.
Those stories are so stirring, Sophia. Malala, Musk, Oprah, they all found such distinct paths. What about when life's demands, like bills or family, make chasing passion feel impractical? How do you balance reality with purpose?
That's a vital question, Emily, because life's responsibilities can make passion feel like a luxury. The answer lies in integrating passion into your current reality, not waiting for a perfect moment. Start small, carve out pockets of time for what lights you up, even if it's 10 minutes a day. I draw from J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter as a single mom on welfare, scribbling in cafes while her baby napped. Rowling didn't quit her job or neglect her daughter. She wove her passion into life's gaps, building a legacy. Her persistence taught me you don't need ideal conditions, just commitment. When I started coaching, I was still in HR working 50-hour weeks. I couldn't quit, so I coached evenings studying psychology on lunch breaks. Those stolen moments built my practice. I coached a client named Rachel, a mom of 3 who loved gardening but felt tied to her accounting job. We looked at Martha Stewart, who grew a hobby into an empire while raising a family. Rachel started a gardening blog on weekends, which led to a side business selling plants. She now runs workshops, balancing family and passion. Small steps bridge the gap between duty and dreams. Another strategy is to align purpose with responsibilities. Find ways your passion serves your life's demands. I worked with a client named Chris, a mechanic who loved music but needed to support his kids. We studied Alicia Keys, who used music to process life's chaos while building a career. Chris started teaching guitar to local teens, earning extra income and fulfilling his purpose. His kids now join his lessons, bonding through music. Passion doesn't have to compete with reality. It can enhance it, making every day richer.
That's such a practical mindset, Sophia, integrating passion into life as it is. Rolling and Rachel's stories make it feel so possible. How do we sustain the pursuit of passion and purpose long-term, especially when obstacles or boredom set in?
Sustaining passion and purpose is like tending a fire. It needs fuel, care, and occasional rekindling. One habit is regular reflection. Every quarter I ask, am I still aligned with my passion? Does my purpose feel alive? This mirrors Bill Gates, who takes think weeks to reassess his goals, staying passionate about philanthropy. Reflection keeps you honest. I coached a client named Anna, a baker who loved her craft but felt routine dulled her spark. Quarterly check-ins revealed she craved teaching. She started baking classes, reigniting her purpose and tripling her income. Another key is continuous learning. Passion thrives when you grow. Tony Robbins, the motivational titan, stays energized by studying psychology and coaching daily. I read one psychology article weekly to fuel my coaching passion. I worked with a client named Mark, a teacher who loved history but felt stagnant. Inspired by Robbins, Mark took online courses, blending new insights into lessons. His classes became school favorites and he wrote a local history book. Learning keeps passion fresh. Also, connect with community. Surround yourself with people who share or support your purpose. Michelle Obama's advocacy thrives through networks of changemakers, amplifying her impact. I joined a coaching mastermind, sparking ideas that grew my practice. I coached a client named Lauren, a writer who felt isolated. Joining a writers group, inspired by Obama's community focus, led Lauren to publish her first novel. Community fuels perseverance. Finally, celebrate progress. Reward milestones to stay motivated. Serena Williams marks wins with family time, grounding her passion. I celebrate coaching breakthroughs with a quiet dinner, reflecting on impact. When obstacles hit like a failed workshop launch, I recall Williams' resilience, refocusing on my why. These habits, reflection, learning, community, celebration, keep passion and purpose burning bright through life's ups and downs.
Those are such vibrant strategies, Sophia. Reflection like Gates, community like Obama, celebration like Serena. It's a blueprint for staying ignited. As we close, what's one final piece of advice for listeners ready to find their passion and purpose today?
My biggest advice is to take one curious step now. Passion and purpose unfold through action, not waiting for clarity. Think of Nelson Mandela, who found purpose in small acts of resistance, building a legacy of freedom. For me, it was that first mentoring session that sparked my coaching life. One last story. I coached a widower named Brian, a carpenter who felt aimless after losing his wife. He thought passion was for others. We looked at Fred Rogers, who found purpose in kindness, touching millions through Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Brian explored woodworking, starting with a birdhouse for his granddaughter. It grew into teaching kids carpentry, giving him purpose to heal and connect. If Brian can find his spark, so can you. Ask yourself, what excites me today? Try one thing: a class, a conversation, a journal entry. That step is your compass to a life of meaning.
What a beautiful way to wrap up, Sophia. Brian's story, alongside giants like Mandela and Rogers, shows passion and purpose are within reach for us all. Thank you for sharing such profound wisdom and practical steps. I know our listeners are inspired to chase what sets their hearts ablaze.
Thank you, Emily, and to everyone listening. I hope you feel empowered to uncover your passion and live your purpose with courage.
And that's it for today's episode of Journey to Success. If this conversation stirred your soul, and I'm certain it did, please hit that subscribe button to catch every inspiring episode. Share this with someone searching for their spark, and join us next time for more tools to fuel your journey. Until then, keep exploring what makes you come alive.